Good morning, everyone. Tom here, aka Nostradamus. I'm just a little bit behind. I was doing some work, and that work did not involve looking at the markets, which was a bit refreshing, I guess. You get a little tired of constantly checking the markets. The stock market is going to open in about 4 minutes. I have not even looked at. I'm lying. They were up a few points. Now they're actually up 40. NASDAQ anyway. Let's hop on over and see what's going on. Not much going on in cryptocurrency. Pretty boring. I kid. There's a little bit of panic going on. There's some stuff on some sell. I'm kind of excited, though. I'm currently not buying. I'm looking to start possibly buying. The problem is I've already been buying too much. So, you know, a lot of the stuff I think looks really good right now. I think, you know, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I am not giving financial advice. But there's definitely some projects. It's in the title. There's some NFT plays that are looking really juicy. We can take a look at those. Give my quick opinion on Bitcoin. A lot of it's going to be a broken record. Nothing I haven't said before. Anyway, so yeah. The stock market, how we doing? NASDAQ's currently up about 40. I don't know what it did overnight. Let's take a look at the chart. I don't know if it was, I could have sworn it was down yesterday or around flat. So let's see, the low 1302. Yeah, that was about 100 points ago. So did it hit up? Is that for the whole day though? So it was pretty ugly yesterday. What are we looking at this week? I've said numerous times, I think it's going to be a rocky year for the stock market. I am not sure what's going to happen. So I'm sitting here wondering if I already took my medicine. I need to take some medicine. Am I going to overdose now, boys and girls? Hopefully not. Hopefully it's not bad if you double up on this one. All right, so the NASDAQ's up 40. We got 2 minutes to the open. The E-mini S&P is down 8. So that's very interesting. The S&P futures are down and the NASDAQ's up. So the NASDAQ, you typically think like tech stocks. Tech stocks have been, you know, everyone says, oh, the tech stocks are taking a beating when bonds are up, blah, blah, blah. Hot. All right. See how everything's doing. You know, I got a lot of Bitcoin proxies, so those probably ain't doing too well in the stock market. And I'm sitting here seriously considering whether I should just bail on most of my stock market for a minute, not focus on it. But you got to stay engaged. You got to keep the mind going. You always want to stay in tune with the markets, even though you're not trading the stock market. Me, anyway, as much as I have in the past. I still want to stay engaged, and I still want to, you know, so that way it helps you keep in tune with what's going on. So here we go. Ding, ding, ding. The bell just rang. Tesla's up for close to $5. Let's see how that is. It's still about $25 away, $675 from 700, still sub 700. Again, that's a very, very juicy price. If you were one of those people wanting to buy Tesla in the 800s, I mean, you should have been buying it back at 500 or 600. That being said, there's no saying whether or not the stock market won't continue to go down for a while. So start dollar cost averaging in. You know, I'm a big fan of both dollar cost averaging and lump sum. If you have a lump sum, I would be more inclined to just lump sum into the market, diversify. Good plays, not a lot of garbage, not a lot of SPACs. Nothing wrong with some growth and speculative plays. Just keep it a low percentage of your portfolio. So say, for example, I had 100 grand right now, and would I dollar cost average in, or would I just lump sum in? Well, I mean, there's a few things you got to take into consideration. And this isn't financial advice. This is just what I would do. I would be more inclined to just lump sum it in. Now, recently, say the last 5 months, that would be much harder to do because of just how much the stock market was up. So a lot of people would want to FOMO into the stock market because of fear of missing out of all the crazy gains. But when you look at the chart, which I love looking at this NASDAQ chart, I mean, look at that. All right, so here's the March V-shaped recovery, and then like this is just insane. Actually, I've yet to do this. So this right here before the March crash was already a pretty insane, rip your face off, like steep rally. Let's see how much we were up in just a short. That is blow your top off if I've ever seen it, right? We're talking about a 40% move in a year. That's insane. 40% in a year. That's probably the biggest. I would beg to bet, or I would bet that's probably the biggest move in the stock market history, right? And if you go from the bottom, that's just that. I mean, if you go from the bottom, it's even crazier. I was going from swing high to swing high, right? So if we go to the bottom, that is 106% in a little bit less than a year. I mean, that's a crazy move. So yeah, I think a 30–40% decline might be healthy for the market. We're currently setting at, what are we at? 318? I mean, this is laughable. Laughable. Doesn't even look right. Let's zoom. Okay, yeah, so we went about 12%, I think. So all the way down to here. Yeah, about 12%. We're currently setting at, I mean, all these videos, stock market's crashing. Man, I stopped watching all those videos. I started watching a bunch of like animal videos, puppy rescue videos, feel good videos. Don't let all these market crash videos make you panic. Same thing in Bitcoin, same thing in a crypto, right? We're at 9%. Dude, we could come down another 10–15%. It'd be healthy in my opinion. Oh no, why did I do that? One of the reasons I love Chrome, we can just reopen close tab, but it's probably going to go to the lot. All right, here we go. So Bitcoin, what is going on with Bitcoin? Is the trend line intact? This is the first time I'm checking it this morning. Ooh, the trend line is currently broken. Let's see if we can. I mean, it's been broken the past couple of days. It's getting, so this goes back quite a while. I mean, since January, the end of January. So it's only a couple months, but I've liked this trend. It's been a nice upward trend. Let's see if we can get back into this. Maybe we come down for a bit, make it a bit ugly. Maybe we have to change the trend. I hope not. But I personally don't see a problem with Bitcoin coming down even more. Trend breaking. Long term, I think it would probably be, I would be more inclined to think it's positive for Bitcoin. Why is Bitcoin coming down? A couple reasons. One is there's probably manipulation. Manipulation is very commonplace in cryptocurrency. Don't think it's not. This isn't tinfoil hat. This isn't conspiracy theory. There's people getting fined and thrown in jail even as recently as like last October for manipulating gold, right? There's banks all the time getting fined for, practices that aren't, deemed, somewhat against the law, fraud, etc. Coinbase, right? They're going through having to pay a fine. Banks all the time are getting fined for manipulation. And this is in a highly, highly, highly regulated market, right? The stock market, the gold markets, the futures, all that stuff, highly regulated. 10,000 times more oversight in that market than in cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is still the wild, wild west. And I don't even know if the manipulation is illegal, to be honest. I mean, that's part, there's pros and cons to everything, right? There's no solutions, there's only trade-offs. And there's a lot of things to love about decentralization, but there's some trade-offs. What is to stop someone from selling all their Bitcoin or selling a huge, if they have the position to move the market, so who's to say that's wrong other than right? Us retailers that are upset that our Bitcoin's going down. I'm a sissy pants for not getting involved with them. I could, it scares the hell out of me, right? Because sometimes those moves go against you. But if you put in stop losses, those can be seen, right? The whales could see it. I don't know if the whales are big institutions. There's probably some big institutions. Like, I'm just speculating, your exchanges, your BlackRocks, your JP Morgans, whether it's like black ops operations that they have or what, who knows, right? Or it's actually them. These people have been manipulating markets for over a century, right? Some of them for decades. They know how to do it in a market where there's much more oversight. They could come into this and it's a much easier ballgame for them right now. And who's to say how much that's going to change, right? Especially in the near future. And to be quite honest, Bitcoin's holding up pretty good still. It's only at 55,000. I mean, look at the chart. We could go back quite a ways. We can go back to February 17th, a little over a month ago. That's where Bitcoin was there. Hell, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, we were at 42,000. Why is anyone panicking now? The last crash was in 30%. I don't know. I think it was in the last bull market. There were like nine mini crashes in Bitcoin in the epic bull run from whatever, like, what was it, $1,000 to $20,000? There were something like nine mini crashes of 30% or more. So where are we sitting at now? So this is back in January. What do we have? Here's one, and that was 30%, right at 30%. We have another one right here. And this one wasn't a lot of fun because we went down, then we had a dead cat bounce, and then we really went down. And I thought we might see something similar here where we went down and then we went back up. And I thought there was a really good chance that we were going to go back down even lower. But we're still putting in higher lows, right? So as long as this doesn't reach below, say, 42,000, 43,000, right around 43,000, and then in my opinion, it's not that bad. Even if it does go below that, I'm not worried. When it comes to cryptocurrency, I've said it a million times, just have the conviction. I have the conviction. It's all about the adoption rate. How long is it going to take to get adopted? Maybe it takes another 5 years. Maybe it takes another 10 years. Maybe that's going to be frustrating as hell. I personally don't think that's the case. I think by the next halving, we're going to be at levels way beyond this. And that's my conviction. And then that way, if you just invest an amount that you can afford to lose, right? That's so important. And that's one of the things that makes cryptocurrency so hard because it's so volatile. So when this has only been less than a 10% swing so far, right? That's nothing. And if you're panicking now, you're not cut out for cryptocurrency, or you have too much money invested that you can't afford to lose, right? We're only at 15% right now. 30%? What was this last one? I didn't even finish this off. Where were we at? I think it was around 30%. No, maybe not even 30% on this last one. I don't think it was. Yeah, right at 26%. So close. Right now, we're currently at, like, what did I just say? 15%. To get to 30%, we need to go down currently to like 43,000 again. We're right back at where the last, low was. And it's in play. This is a longer term. This green trend line is a bit longer. This goes back to December, not even that much more, right? So that comes all the way down to about 44,000. In my opinion, that's in play. That one would suck a little because it would be a lower low, but I think we had that in the past. But then again, if you scrunch it in, it eventually might become a higher low, right? And you know me, I don't put a lot of, I don't worry about too much about the technical analysis too much. It's somewhat of a short-term vehicle. Bitcoin is really a sentiment-driven and a news-driven event right now. I've done my research on it. I've done a ton of research on it. I'm a network and system. I mean, look at this. So I'm not an idiot when it comes to software and all this stuff. And I have a business degree. So I'm not an idiot when it comes to finance. I've been trading markets for decades. I've done the research, and I am convinced Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is going to play a very, very big part in our future, if not be one of the biggest parts of our future. And so I'm investing in it. And right now, I've already put a ton of money into it. I can't really afford to put much more into it. But I continue to watch my expenses, right? I don't have a car payment. I don't have credit card payment. So instead of making a car payment once a month, I put money into the stock market. I put money into cryptocurrency. I'm currently dollar cost averaging in still into Bitcoin primarily, because that's the safest play. But then there's other stuff, like I love Cardano. That's my biggest bag, Cardano. I love Cardano. I mean, think about it. I think what Cardano is doing is amazing. I think it is the right play, especially the whole Africa angle. There's a lot of good things about capitalism, but capitalism does stifle innovation, right? Capitalism leads to greedy, rich people not wanting to change things because they don't want to change how much money they make, which could stifle innovation. Not always, but it can, right? So going into a country like Africa that's hungry, that doesn't have an infrastructure that's been around for decades, bogging them down, there's a lot of opportunity there. And Cardano's not stopping there. There's, Georgia, other, countries, they're going after Fortune 500. They have an amazing platform. There's Polkadot out there. I love Polkadot. Now, if I were looking to do dollar cost average into anything right now, I would be looking at the stuff that's really beaten down and are good projects. And that's why I have NFTs, right? Chilliz, Enjin, my favorite's Mana. I love Mana. I really like Chilliz. I really like Flow. Flow's really hard to buy though. You can buy it on Kraken, but it's a pain in the butt. In the United States anyway. You have to wire money, or you have to buy Bitcoin, transfer it over, convert it to USD, then buy Flow. They don't have any real pairs with Flow. Like, I couldn't buy it with my Ethereum. Maybe I'm an idiot. Maybe there's a way to do it. But then there's another thing about Flow that concerns me. But I love Flow. Dapper Labs, right? I've been trying to buy NBA Top Shots. I don't know if you guys have looked into them. They're pretty cool, but it's crazy hard to buy. The packs, you have to get like basically a lottery ticket. And I don't know what that means for the tokenomics of Dapper or Flow. But Flow is really beaten down right now. It's down close to 50% from its all-time highs. And I like the project a lot. The thing that concerns me is this right here. 32, I mean, what is that? What does that even? So they're under $1 billion. So there's definitely a lot of room to grow. Yeah, Andy, how you doing? OMI, I think, is that one you mentioned? Let's see. Andy, yeah. So I did look at it. I liked it a lot. I haven't bought it. I think maybe when it comes to Uniswap, Uniswap's another thing. It's something. So Uniswap dropped a tweet yesterday with the video, and at the video in the stars, it kind of shows V3. So I think Uniswap version 3 is probably going to drop this week. If that does happen, so long story short, I don't think Bitcoin, actually what's happening on a Bitcoin is not that big a deal. It's not even down that much, right? It's only down a few thousand this week. It's back up over 55, pushing for 56. When it gets below 50,000, which I say 45,000 is in play, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think there's just too much support at even say like 51, 52,000. If it drops and you got money to dollar cost average in, if you like playing smaller altcoins, if that's your game, I really like the NFT space right now. Flow's down a lot. Omni's probably a good one. Something just happened in Tattooed Chef. What happened over there? So my put sold. I got my put back. Ooh, my strangle, baby. So I put a strangle on a Tattooed Chef last week. We already sold a strangle, already bought it back for a 50% winner. Greater than 50% chance of success. That's how it's done, boys and girls. What do I got to put another one on? All right, let's finish this up. So I did look at Omni. When it comes to Uniswap, I think Uniswap version 3 is coming out this week. I've bought some Uniswap recently. It was pushing towards all-time highs, or it did hit all-time high yesterday before this market kind of started correcting. I didn't put a lot of research into Omni, but I will look at it some more. A lot of people are talking about that one, I believe. But the thing that concerns me about Flow, right? I like this one a lot because NBA Top Shots is big. NBA is big. You got to assume they're going to go after the NFL, the NHL, Major League Baseball, things like that. That's another reason why I like the Chilliz one. I think the Chilliz is more like European or soccer and more world. Soccer's, you know, I think still the biggest sport in the world, probably. So that's probably a good one. This does concern me about Chilliz. There's only roughly 33 million of 1.3 billion. I don't really know what's going on there, and that does concern me. But in the short term, so I don't know if there's like some schedule where the team is going to get a ton of tokens and that's going to flood the market and devalue, right? I really don't know. But so I haven't spent a lot of time trying to research that. And the fact that it is kind of hard to buy in the United States. Oh, Akami's the one I've been hearing a lot of. Yeah, Akami, they're the Batman and the V. That one looks interesting. I thought the artwork was kind of ugly on most of it, but dude, I'm the wrong guy though. You'd think I'd be some kind of geeky nerd when it comes to that stuff, but I'm really kind of not. I'm more into sports and stuff. And even like when I'm hanging out with the other engineers and stuff, they're going crazy over Wonder Vision and all these. Oh my goodness. I know I'm not normal, right? What is the stupid movies, the Avengers and the guy, you know what I'm talking, End of the World. I've never, Infinity Wars, I never watched any of that. I tried to watch WandaVision. I watched 3 episodes and the whole throwback. And two reasons I watched it. I like the dude from A Knight's Tale that plays, what's his face? I don't remember the guy's name, right? I don't know. And I like the throwback. I'm old, man. I like the throwback to the old shows, but whatever. And then like the Justice League, they're all, dude, so I'm not the demographic for for Omni, right? But I know there's a lot of money when it comes to that stuff. So that's definitely an interesting play. I think all of them right now, my favorite still is going to be Mana. They've got so much going for them when it comes to, they got the NFT, the collectible, collecting land, buying and selling land, becoming a land-bearing virtual worlds, check of being like addicting to people, right? Online, social, online gaming, big people get addicted to that and consumed by that. You can make money in the game. You can gamble in the game. And it's actually pretty cool. And I haven't even explored it that much. So I think there's I think Mana could be massive. I think Mana could reach, I mean, it's pretty small right now still. I mean, it's growing in size, but that's easily my favorite one. I like Enjin too. They had a game come out recently and I'm not sure how well that's doing. And that's probably why it's down on its butt a bit, but they're doing a lot with gaming and NFTs. So there's a lot of, I think that one's a good one. And that one's fairly easy to buy. You can buy it on Binance. I was going to say that one might be kind of hard to buy. Mana you can buy on like Gemini. Where's Mana? I feel like it was higher up in the list. Chilliz I like a lot, but it's gone up a lot, quite a bit already. Engine's down 20%. Flow, where was Flow? I think Flow is way down here. Flow, I mean, the last 30 days it's down 26%, and I think from its all-time highs it's close to like 30, 40, 50%. So these are Mana down 15% in the last 7 days. Yeah, so I think if we went out like 30 days, it would really show it. So these are NFTs will start. NFTs aren't getting a lot of talk like they were a couple weeks ago. I think they'll come back. I'm not saying go all in, but these are projects. This is how you can make money in cryptocurrency. You buy tokens when they're down on their ass, right? And these are all good projects. Decentraland's a great project. Enjin's a great project. A lot of people talk about them. I do hear a lot about the Akami and the V. Definitely. I wonder what rank they are. Let's take a look. Let's take a closer look at that one. I have looked at this before. There we go. And it's trending. See? All right. So this is somewhat concerning. Same thing. 166. What is that? Billion? Is that right? 750 billion? That's insane. Oh yeah. Look at that. Plays into why the. So I don't know. That's kind of a weird thing to do, right? So this does concern me. About 1/5 of the coins are in supply. So it's the same thing as kind of like Flow, but Flow was even like 0.05 or something crazy low. So why? What's going on here? And why so many coins, right? What's their end game? This will attract a lot of people. I mean, you could buy 100,000 AMI for like $910, right? So 100,000 challenge. You want to buy 1 million? Cost you about 10 grand. Canada 100x. Make you a millionaire for 10 grand? Maybe, right? I'm not doing it, but it's out there. It's possible, right? Same thing with mana. I think mana can 100x. I have quite a bit of mana. Do I think either one of these can 100x this year? Nah, probably not. Do I think mana could 100x in the next 10 years, 5 years, next halving? Hell yeah, right? I don't think it's out of the question. I did a video recently where I put $100 mana. I think it's possible. I don't think anytime soon. I think a 10x, a 5 to 10x is possible this year. And dude, a lot of people hear 5x and they get disappointed. Man, be thankful you're in an era and you're in a market where 5x is considered weak. Because 5x in the stock market is hitting grand slams. Hitting 10x's in the stock market is hitting, multiple grand slams. And they don't come along very often. They're not easy. And it's the same thing with cryptocurrency. It's not easy over here. They burn coins when people purchase. Oh, okay. They're going to have to burn an S-load of them. They've got close to 1 trillion coins. I think that's the highest coin count I've ever seen. That makes sense, though. Coin burn. As long as there's no schedule out there where in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, all the developers and founders and stuff just get a ridiculous amount of coins. You got to be careful with things like that. I don't know a lot about AMI. I got to assume Flow. If they're in bed with the NBA, they're basically on the gravy train now, right? And they're going to probably have ends to the NFL, etc. We're talking about very greedy organizations, especially NFL. And if the NFL can get their hooks into making a bunch of money with something like that, you can sure as S believe they're going to do it. So that is a big reason why I like Flow, and I'm probably going to kick myself for not buying some Flow right now, and I still may. So anyway, that's where we're at in the cryptocurrency market. Bitcoin looks like it's now having trouble hanging on the 55K level. I wouldn't worry about it. I am a little bummed it's not holding the trend line. Let's see if we can wick back up above that, or if we don't dip down too much below. I think Ethereum's kind of looking at the same thing. Yep, trend line's broken there, but you know what we can do? We can just move it. No, I'm going to leave it there. I mean, we dipped below it before and we came back up. That's a hard dip below. There's a lot of, I mean, come on. Ethereum's 1700. Are you kidding me? We can go back to February. The beginning of February, it was there. We go back to the beginning of January. We were not even breaking all-time highs. It was below 14. I mean, it sucks if Ethereum comes back down, all the way back down. Right? It has to, what is this? 1285 was its most recent all-time low. As long as it stays above that, it's still considered a bull market. I think it's still a bull market. Could it go below? Yeah, sure. Man, who knows? Again, your conviction, man. Just have the conviction. I have the conviction. I'm not worried. It's gonna suck if we dump, if the bull market's over. I don't think that's the case, but it'll come back. with some patience. And again, as long as you don't invest too much, as long as you don't need that money, maybe it sets some plans off, right? Like I'm looking to buy a new house. Things go very well in the crypto marketplace. I would imagine that's going to happen along keeping this existing house, right? Having both. If the crypto market crashes, guess what? I'm not buying a new house. I'm waiting. Most likely, right? So just have a plan. And as long as that plan keeps you from ending out on the streets, not able to pay your bills, then you're good. If you're in a situation where you're already having a hard time paying your bills, you probably shouldn't be watching this video, because you probably shouldn't be in the stock market of cryptocurrency. Anyway, let's see what's going on in the stock market. That's enough on cryptocurrency. Oh, see a red. NASDAQ is now down 16, basically flat. The E-mini still basically flat. It's up a couple points from when it was down. GNOG down. Mara is only down 50 cents. That's good. I mean, considering it's basically a Bitcoin proxy. MicroStrategy is only down $9. NEO only down. It's basically flat, boring market. Should be selling, if this continues, I should be selling more iron condors or more strangles. Speaking of strangles, we just made some money. So I sold a strangle 312. What was that, like 11 days ago? For $1 credit, bought it back for 52 cents. Made an easy $50. High probability of success. I still got my bullish put spread on. That's kind of, so what that did, I bought 100 shares. And then I sold a strangle around it. So I bought 100 shares at $20.19. And then I lowered 50%. I reduced my cost basis by 51 cents. So now those 100 shares are really what? 20 minus 52, I don't know, like 1970 something. I could do it again, or I could sell a covered call, right? So the risk to doing another covered strangle, which I think I'm going to do, I'm going to take a look at it. And these strikes suck. All right, let's take a look. 25, yeah. IV's 80%. I don't love it, right? Because there's a good chance in the next, oh, that's 24 days. Let's go out. Let's go out to May and see what we got. So I can go to the, ooh, here we go. Now we're talking, boys and girls. All right, so I can do a 15. Oh yeah, this, are you kidding me? This is what I'm talking about. So we're going to the 16 delta right here on the call. And the 22 delta, we're gonna get about $1.07. That probably won't fill. So we'll go to $1.05. So I'm gonna sell another strangle. 59 days out, I'm selling the 15 put and the 30 call. What this means, it's covered, right? Because the call is covered. I have the 100 shares. If Tattooed Chef is over $30 by May 21st, 2021, my shares would be called away from me, but I would make $1,000 because I bought it at roughly $20, right? We're just going to round up. $20 to $30 is $1,000. I get to keep that money. And then I have to sell the shares to whoever calls them away from me at $30. My profit's capped. Downside is first world, first class problem. Tattooed Chef goes to $50. There's another $2,000 in profit I missed out on. But this play alone, even without owning the shares, if you have the capital, strangles are one of the best ways to make money in the stock market. An 82% chance of being 50% profitable. I will take that all day long, even without the 100 shares. So the risk, if you don't have the 100 shares, is Tattooed Chef goes to goes to $50, and you don't have the shares, you're gonna have to sell it at you're gonna have to sell 100 shares at that and take a $2,000 loss, right? So that's the risk for being uncovered, being an uncovered strangle. And the other risk on this play is to the downside. So if Tattooed Chef goes below $15, I will be obliged to buy 100 shares at $15. And I don't start losing money on those shares until like $14.95, right? Because I'm gonna have to buy them at $15, but I received a $1.05 credit, so $13.95. So my cost basis on another 100 shares, if I were to have to get them, would be at $13.95, right? It's easy to say now, but I would buy another 100 shares of Tattooed Chef at $13.95 all day long right now. Problem is, if Tattooed Chef is below $15, some stuff's probably happening. I might not be as thrilled. But anyway, I love this trade. Let's put it on. Let's lower my cost basis a bit more. Boom, boom, boom. Excuse me. Filled. Let's see how everything else is doing. Shopify. Ooh, yeah. Love me some Shopify. We put a bullish put spread on. 311. It's up $100. We're going to let that continue to go. Ooh, that one's actually 5 cents away from being 50% profitable. We're going to let that one roll. Riot, basically flat. NNDM, we're down a bit, but I'm up. Oh, well, the stock's down, but I'm up. Well, I think I have a 10. Yeah, I have a 10 put. I sold a 10 naked cash secured put on that. I love me some NNDM, even long term. I think that's a good play. Ooh, this is good morning, Bill Tucker. Bill Tucker in the house. How you doing, brother? You know what? Here we go. I love you guys. All right, so I'm a little surprised by this. This is basically all crypto, and I'm up today. What's going on? I'm up $45. So Ethereum green, Bitcoin green. I mean, from the close, Bitcoin over 55,000. Jay Torres in the house. How you doing? Yeah, we talked about Mana, man. I love me some Mana. Mana is. I'll recap really quick. So all the NFTs right now, there's a lot of good NFT plays that are looking really good to me. Flow, Enjin. Flow is looking really good, and Mana is looking really good. They're both looking really good. Mana is probably my favorite NFT play because they've got a lot of things going for them that makes it such an addicting play for people to get involved with. I mean, you step into something like Flow, and you're just going to be addicted to, like, say you're addicted to trading baseball and basketball and, you know, all the different sports cards, right? That's a very addicting thing that you can get into, but that's just one avenue of addiction. Mana's got multiple avenues of addiction that I think will make it reach a much broader market. The one con I would say to it, it's a little bit intimidating. Even me, someone that's played a lot of video games, it's learning a new video game can be a bit intimidating, and there's a lot to it. But the fact that it's basically a multiplayer online game, addicting, virtual reality plays addicting, games within games addicting, NFTs addicting, cryptocurrency addicting, can make money buying and selling land. Are you kidding me? Or just accumulating land in a virtual world addicting, trying to like get your real estate, get your houses, right? Like unreal amounts of addiction. And then you throw in things like gambling. You can gamble. Like, what else is going to come? Like, it's amazing to me. Like, I think that is one of the best opportunities out there. Will it make it to mobile phones? That is a great question. I really don't know. Maybe. I don't see why not. But so that's one concern I do have about Decentraland. Like, how much is their dev team really putting into the actual game? Right? I have no idea. I've only played it some, and I don't know how much it's grown or how much it's matured. So that I really don't know on that. Hopefully, their tokenomics cover being able to fully continue to develop the game, right? So those are some answers I don't know, and that would definitely be something you would want to put some research on. I would imagine if it makes sense to put it on a phone, and if there's definitely things you can do with it on a phone, I don't see why not, but I don't know, right? Maybe like I've often wondered, like, how good can the graphics get when it's in a website, right? Maybe why not a thick client or, you know, an actual game install? Who knows, man? I don't know. But I do think, again, there's so many things about it that make it so addicting, right? Like I have FOMO. I legit have FOMO in not owning land in Decentraland, right? I don't know why. because I mean, just think about it. Most people want to own land or own their own house, right? So why not have the same FOMO in a virtual world? And is their land capped, right? I have no idea. If their land, I think it is, right? I think there's only a certain amount of parcels or whatever, but what if they decide to add to that? What's that going to do? I'm sure there's going to be a fine line of it makes sense to add land versus not adding land, and you know, the whole economy, right? Like it's a whole virtual world economy. Maybe Decentraland is, I did a video joking around that I'm moving Bicro World, I'm moving to Decentraland. Maybe that's the world most people go home and get into, right? Like it is possible and highly likely. There's already projects and things going on where virtual reality is really beginning to mature, and people will be in virtual boardrooms. You put on your headset and you won't even be able to basically tell the difference that you're not in an executive, from a business standpoint, virtual world, right? Or even a party, right? There is, I mean, it's crazy to think about that you could put on a headset and be in your own house and party with all your friends, right? In some badass virtual Decentraland world. I could be, you know, my best friend lives 2-3 hours away, right? My family lives halfway across the country. Slap that on, go to your house in Decentraland. If you early to the game and you got some baller ass mansion, I mean, maybe that's I mean, it makes my head really explode when it comes to that stuff. All right, so Ethereum is back over 1,700. It's really weird, man. I tweeted out yesterday that I was excited that Bitcoin was about to pump over, I think 54 or 55,000 when a couple of days ago I was hoping for 60,000. But I'm actually very, very happy. I do think this pullback in Bitcoin is very, very healthy. There's the pie chart or whatever that was getting very close to crossing, and that's considered some death cross. And it's good, dude. Like I've said numerous times, we want it to take its time. Nice, slow, steady move up. We want the liquidity to come in. The liquidity is coming in. I do think there's going to be some good news this week. We do got to worry about futures expiration. I think it's going to be a really boring. It's either going to be a boring week in crypto. Even if it dumps, man, just enjoy it. If it dumps, try and buy some more if you can afford it, because it's coming back. In my opinion, it's going back to the moon, and I am pretty sure, I have the conviction that Bitcoin will be over 100,000. I personally think 150 to 200,000 is probably the upper limit this year. I know there's a lot of talk of 500,000. If it hits 500,000, I'm probably selling a lot, because I think that is going to be euphoria for sure. And well, there probably will be a big pullback. My goal is to make it to the year point on most of my crypto. That's going to be really tough, because I'm only 2 months in and it's already a really tough ride, man. I just don't want to pay those short-term capital gains. What is Cardano? My favorite. $1.16, man. That is strong as hell for Cardano. We talked about yesterday, 75%. 1, 3, and 4 tokens are staked. Locked in, staked, man. Cardano, dude, that's a faithful army right there. They don't want to give up the 88 army, and I'm one of them. I have no desire to sell any of my Cardano. Cardano, when I get to like a 5x, I might sell 10 or 20%. That way the rest is a free ride. But I think Cardano, easily one of the best plays on the board. Same with Polkadot. I love me some Polkadot. Anyway, let's try and wrap this up. Famous last words. Yeah, ooh, Tesla must be up because my IRA is up. And that thing is one big fat wad of Tesla. Tesla's up $7. Let's go, baby. The Nasdaq, dude, look at the two-sided action in this market this week, man. It's up, it's down. The dollar is up 50 cents. The Nasdaq's now up 56 and ripping. I would be inclined to short that, but I'm not getting in front of that freight train. Who knows what's going to happen? Gotta be very careful in the market right now, boys and girls. If you're in the stock market, be careful. Did I sell a call? Did I sell another strangle? I did. What did I do? The 1530? May, we need to come over and then close that out. Whoa. What did I just do? All right. No, we don't want the 100 shares. I'm going to buy that back. I'm going to put a go to cancel order. See if there's any other stuff we want to do. Look at the watch list. I want to look at the watch list because I want to make fun of Lordstown and Workhorse, and I love picking on those. All right. Mara and Riot just holding the top in the IV rank, man. 150% plus on both of them. Blue Apron, how the hell is that stock still around? They did a reverse split, which is a death sentence. And I think that put them to $12. Man, they're going to have to do another reverse split soon or get delisted. That is a garbage stock. Clean Spark. I haven't thought about that one in a while. That one's kind of on its butt. NNDM, ride down to $13. Make her holler. Workhorse, ride's going to 0. I've done the videos. QuantumScape, back on the, down $4, but it was in the 50s, wasn't it? GNOG, love me some GNOG. How is Nikola still around? BFT, I kind of like that one, but I'm not in it. MicroStrategies, we love that. Upwork, $45. Man, I think that's a bit overvalued, to be honest. I would be inclined to sell a calls for. Oh, Xpeng. I almost titled the video Xpeng today. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. Spoiler alert. I like Xpeng a lot in the beginning. There's a lot of things I liked about it over Neo. Mostly, they already have, allegedly, a couple really big factories. It's China, man. So these Chinese automobile stocks scare me. Neo too. And then a couple pretty big YouTubers mentioned that, you know, over in China, there was a couple good sources saying Xpeng's kind of a scam. And that scared the hell out of me. But if I were to speculate, I like Xpeng as a speculation. The whole Chinese and possible scam thing scare me. But if you guys don't watch riiiiiibz, an amazing channel, even if you're not into cars, the dude's funny as hell. He makes really good content. In his most recent video, he got his hands on a P7 and drove it. And the car looks nice. I mean, I wouldn't kind of want to buy one, to be honest, if you could buy them in the United States. I'd still probably want to get a Tesla over it just because how nice the car is and how good the car is isn't, you know, it isn't everything. There's support, how much support you can get from Tesla, things like that, taking it in, warranty work and all that. Obviously, Xpeng's not going to have that infrastructure in the United States, and I don't even know how it would compare. I don't know how their full self-driving would compare to Tesla. I think Tesla's going to be the first one to crack that, even though it did just have a bit of delay. No big deal on that, in my opinion. Yeah, but definitely check that out. riiiiiibz drove an Xpeng. It looks like a very, very nice car. So anyway, that's that. And I really am going to wrap this up. Got to get to work. Love you guys all. NASDAQ, it's up 50. It's hanging pretty good. And one last look at the cryptos. Bitcoin hanging over 55. Ethereum hanging over 17. Hopefully we get a pump. Hopefully we can get back above the trend lines. I will be back tomorrow. I have no idea what we're going to talk about. Pull something out of my ass. We know it's going to be crypto and stock market related.